All right, what's going on, everybody? This is Chris from AppSumo. If you see, it says that I am Christy. It is not. She is on vacation right now, so I'm using her login. So apologies for that. But thank you guys for tuning in for the webinar today. Super excited. We're joined with the team from Datagran. So we have Carlos here, who's the CEO. We also have Alejandro, who's the operations manager. He's going to helping us out in the Q&A section. So if you haven't seen Datagran yet, it is an all-in-one AI data workspace that integrates, analyzes, and manages your digital data to help you understand and grow your business. So super excited about this. It's live right now in the AppSumo store for just starting at $49 for a 2-year plan. But right now, you can see me and Carlos. I'm going to shut down my camera in a minute, hand this over to Carlos so he can give you guys some insider tips on how you can use this tool. If at any point you have any questions, you can throw those in the Q&A box that you can see at the bottom of your screen. Alejandro will be helping out there. And then if you have comments or chats, you can just throw those in the chat section. But right now, Carlos, I will turn this over to you. You can get this demo going and show these Sumolings how to use Datagran.
Thanks, Chris, and thank you for having us. And hi, everybody. Glad you're all here. My name is Carlos, and I'm the CEO and founder of. Basically, a little bit of a background. That the reason we created Datagran was because I was an entrepreneur previously, and we had a huge pain. And that pain was that when we had to integrate all of these sources, understand our metrics, make predictions, and overall understand all of our metrics and how to manage our business based on those metrics, there were a ton of tools that we had to install to make that happen. So on one end, we had to install Segment to aggregate all of the data, then Amplitude to analyze all of that, then ClearBrain to make predictions, and then a bunch of other tools for optimizing and do all of the things that we wanted in our business. So we said, this is just dumb. Why isn't there a tool where you just can plug and play and manage all of your data, make your teams work together, and actually manage based on data all of the things that you need for your business, like, for example, launching your email campaigns or your Facebook or Google campaigns. So that's what we did. We created a tool where you can integrate your data, make analysis, predictions, manage in digital channels, and actually collaborate. So that said, I'm going to jump product demo and happy to answer all the questions that you guys might have. So as you can see in my screen, the first part is what we call data integrations. And you can see that in our menu where it says integrations. You're going to see here a thing that is called data sources. So that's
sorry, Carlos, to pause you. Are you sharing your screen? I'm not seeing it pull up on my side.
Oh, sorry about that.
No, that's all right. Just want to make sure I'm not missing anything.
Now you are. Sorry about that. My fault.
No, all set. There it is. Okay, perfect.
Awesome. So sorry, let me say that again. When you click on your menu and you click on integrations, you're going to see two elements here. One is data sources and the other one is Facebook and Google. If you want to connect your Facebook and Google channels, you can click here. If you want to see the rest of the data sources, you just click on data sources and you'll see this screen that I'm seeing right now. Just as a spoiler alert or great news for some of you, we're going to be launching Stripe and WooCommerce today. So if you don't see it here, you're going to be able to see it later in the day, hopefully. So the cool thing about this section is that you can integrate, for example, your Shopify store really easily. Just by clicking here, you're going to do the step-by-step process, which is pretty straightforward. And it should not take more than just 5 minutes. Just to be mindful of your time, I'm gonna skip through this because this is a really straightforward process. I'm gonna go back and then I'm in the analytics section. The way you go to this section is just clicking here in analytics. once you integrate your sources, you're going to be able to see all of the analytics. And this section, we call it kind of like our descriptive analysis, where you can see all of the analytics that you usually would see in a traditional BI tool. In here, for example, you'll be able to check out your revenue by category, subcategory, product name, your business results by day, by week, by month. You're going to be able to see your customers' shopping behavior by frequency. You're going to be able to see demographics and location. So if you have zip codes or you have cities or countries, you're going to be able to see that. One of the things that is important to note is that we're going to be launching subscription business by the end of this week or next week, where if you have a business where you sell a subscription and it has to renew, for example, every month, we're going to have that available also. Then if you go...
So how is that going to work? What will that look like?
So for example, in a business like Datagran, where we sell plans, for example, the Savvy or marketing or Star plans, the way that works is that we sell a monthly subscription every month. And once you connect to your source, for example, Stripe, we will show you here in our analytics all of your customers. We will show you churn, for example. We will show you cohort analysis. We will show you retention curves, among all the other metrics that you usually need in your subscription business to keep track of, right? So again, we're going to have like two different kind of like analysis, one for subscription business, and the other one is called transactional business, which is the one that we're showing at this point. Okay.
Got it. Very cool.
All right. So the other feature that you have here in this descriptive dashboard is the filters. So this is a really cool feature too, because you can choose all of the categories or the elements that you want to analyze and create your own filters for your own analysis. Then what is really helpful here is that you can export that filter that you made to or that cluster that you made in your filters to Facebook or Google as a custom or similar audience or a lookalike audience. So the way that this was done, or that this is done usually, is you download from your CSV file a specific cluster, then you go to Facebook or Google and you have to upload it manually to either Facebook or Google. In here, it is automatized. So you don't have to do any downloading and uploading. You just select Facebook or Google, create your lookalike or your custom audience, and that's it. You just need to select your ad account, and that's it. It will be created.
I love that. That's super clean.
Yeah, that's awesome. And then you can go either to your MCC or BM, your Facebook Business Manager, and the custom or lookalike audience will be there. And I'm going to show you when you are creating your campaigns within our system, you can also select the custom or lookalike audience that you created here, right? All right. So let me go now to the predictive analysis. In the predictive analysis section, we have three different types of analysis. We have the first one that is called RFM, or recency, frequency, and monetary, where we classify your customers with different names. So for example, champions, which are your best customers, or about to sleep or need attention. And the neat thing about this is that you can also select if you wanna create a customer lookalike audience in Facebook or Google, or if you wanna send this cluster to an email campaign, or if you wanna download the CSV file. Also, you can go inside that audience and explore it. You might wanna know, hey, I want to understand a little bit better, how are my champions and how do they behave and who are those people? So you can do that by clicking here. We have this RFM analysis also in a list. If you don't like these squares, you can have it displayed this way, it's also a nice way to have it too. Then we have what we call similar taste audiences. And how this works is we of people that kind of like have or buy similar products. So for example, if your customers buy in McDonald's, let's say if your business is McDonald's and they buy always French fries with burgers, then we're gonna group that cluster in one specific cluster. And same thing here. You can export them to Facebook, Google, email, or just download the CSV file. Then we have something that is called next best recommended product. And this works very similar to the way Netflix works. For example, every time that you go into Netflix and you want to watch a movie, they recommend a bunch of different movies that you've never seen, but they think that you might want to watch. Same thing here. So we are recommending products, for example, in this case, a latte. This cluster have never bought a latte before, but we predict that if you show a latte to that specific audience, they will be buying it in their next purchase. So very useful. And again, you can export this as a custom lookalike CSV file or just as an email campaign. For those people that don't understand still what's a lookalike and a custom audience is specifically the people that we selected in the cluster. And a lookalike is we're using the Facebook and Google's DMP so that they can extrapolate that audience that we're sending them and giving us an audience that is similar to the one that we are sending. So if our cluster is composed of about, 10,000 people with the Google and Facebook DMP, once they make the lookalike, that audience can turn from 10,000 people to, 1 million, 100 million, depending on the market that you are in. So hopefully that helps to clarify that. One of the things that we haven't deployed yet, but we will be deploying in about a month and a half or about 2 months is what we call behavioral data. In the behavioral data, as I mentioned a little bit earlier, we were showing transactional data. So based on your transactions, who are the people that is buying, when they are buying, among others. But one of the thing that we're going to be deploying, it's also web analytics. So again, the thing that I showed previously was transactional data. Now what I'm showing here is web data or web analytics. So the interesting thing here is that we're going to be aggregating your transactional and your web data so you can make different analysis based on both of the things that your customers do in terms of transactional and web data. So for example, if you have people that visited your website but never purchased your product, you can create like a filter to visualize what those people are behaving like. But if you want to analyze people that visited your website and purchased at least one product, for example, you can also visualize that and understand their behavior. And I wanted to show you this because even though we haven't launched it yet, it's coming. So it's very important that you understand how it will work. The other thing that you can do here is advanced filters. So for example, again, as the example I mentioned before, if I want to see the behavior of people that made a purchase, but also are customers that are returning to my website, I want to create that condition and I want to understand how those people behave in terms of transactional and web data. And this is very, very powerful because usually the products out there either give you this web data or transactional data. For example, many people ask us, sorry, I'm not sure. Can your computer's in mute? So because I'm hearing a lot of background noise. I don't know if it's Alejandro, maybe. Okay, thank you. Awesome. All right, so yeah, there are a lot of products out there that do a lot of analytics, but just like web analytics. But in our case, it's going to be web entrance cycle, which makes it. Other people ask us, for example, hey, I use Google Analytics. Will you have Google Analytics and integrate that into your software? Yes, we're going to have it, but with our Analytics.js, it will be much, much more powerful than your just Google Analytics, because we're going to be combining your web and transactional data, something that you are not able to do right now with your Google Analytics data. So again, that's that. Then let's go into the Facebook and Google campaigns. So if you go here to campaigns and you click on Facebook and Google, you're going to be taken into this dashboard. In here, what we show is, for example, how many campaigns you have launched, your total ad spend, and your kind of like a summary of all the campaigns you have launched with all your metrics. Down here, you're going to be able to see all the campaigns that are running, if they're active, the specific objective, the budget, the channels you chose for that specific campaign. In here, you're going to be able to duplicate the campaign, pause it, end it, among others. And then you can just hit here and create new campaign, and you're going to be able to create your campaign from scratch, which is going to be displayed here. In this part, you have 8 different objectives that we support. We support objectives anywhere from awareness campaigns to conversions to app installs, among others. And once you click on that, we're going to tell you what are the formats that are available for that specific objective. And if you choose that objective, you're going to be prompted into the campaign creation process. In here, it's very straightforward. You're going to choose Facebook, Instagram, or Google. If it's available for this specific objective, you're going to choose your page, your ad account, among others, and you start your creation process. In the second step of this process, you're going to be asked for your audience. That's where you're going to be able to select your customer lookalike audience that you created in your analytics kind of part of the process, okay? Then another really powerful tool that we have is called Ad Insights. So after you create your Facebook or Google campaigns, you can go to Ad Insights, where you can see it here. And we analyze all of the different creative assets that you uploaded to your campaigns. And with deep learning, we will tell you what are the best performing ads, what are the best formats, if the images in your creatives have faces or not, for example. So we detect emotions. So for example, this helps to tell you, hey, the best campaigns that you are running, they all have people that are laughing, or they are enjoying, they are sad, among others. Also, our predominance, we tell you what are the most common use words. We also tell you what are the images that are working better. So for example, if you always use dogs in the park, like images of dogs in the park, we will tell you exactly here that the images that rank among the top are dogs in the park. And that is all done through deep learning. Okay? Then we have social media listening. And that part is right here. That is this part that is called social media. If you click on that, you are going to see several different analysis. The first one is the traditional analysis that you will get in any other tool, where you see your total fans, new fans, organic, reach, paid reach, among others. But also, you're going to see this part, which is called the sentiment analysis. And if you click here and view more, we are going to take you to this page that you see here. And in here, you're going to be able to see all of the positive comments. You're going to be able to click and go to the specific comment in Facebook. You're going to see also the negative comments. You're going to see all of the words, all of the positive words that are most commonly used, all of the negative words that are most commonly used. And then you're going to see the users that are making the most comments. And you're going to see per user if they're having very negative comments or positive comments or neutral comments, for example. You're also going to see from all of the posts that you have on your Facebook pages, if they're mostly positive, negative, neutral, among others. And you can also go deep into each one of your posts and see the sentiment analysis of that specific post. One of the things that we're going to be launching soon is this analysis for your competitors. And not only that, we're also going to do it for Twitter. And that should be coming in about 2 months tops. Finally, one of the things that you don't have available at this point that we're going to launch with the collaboration tool, and this is going to be a little bit more powerful than what you see here, but it's kind of like a first glance of what we're going to have. It's called task creation. And we have this integration with Asana. So for example, if you have Asana as your tool for task management, you can integrate it with our tool. And for example, if you see a specific analytics that you don't like, or you want to create, or you want somebody to do something based on an analytics that you are looking at, you can create a task and you can assign that task to a specific person. You can assign followers. You can ask for a due date. And you can tell that person also to specifically, and I'm just going to create a task here. And you can also specifically ask for that person to tell you the amount of time they spend on that specific task, all right? So this is the task creation process. Finally, one of the things that I haven't showed is the email creation process. This also a powerful tool in itself, and it works exactly the same as any other email tool that you know for sure. The only difference and the great thing about this tool is that, again, you can use the custom and lookalike audiences that you created in your analytics tool or in the analytics section of our tool, so that it's a more straightforward process. I think that's for now. Happy to take any questions from you guys.
Awesome. Alejandro, do you got some of those questions queued up you want to go through?
Some questions that are individual, but I left some that might be interesting for everyone to hear. So the first question we have here is from David Zambrano, and he asks, I'm interested in getting data from my CRM, Agile CRM, that connects with Zapier to keep track of how my sales system are reaching out to prospects. They haven't been reaching out enough, and that has been a problem in the past. We set up OKRs for them based on these metrics, but keeping track of them in the CRM has not been easy. Can Datagran help us extract this data and do report on these metrics?
Yeah, so there's several ways of doing that, and hopefully I understood the question, but there are two ways of doing that. So the first way is you can send all of your CRM data to, for example, an Amazon S3 or a database, let's say either SQL or whatever, and we can connect automatically to that, and we can analyze all of your CRM data. So that's one way. The other way is a direct connection, for example, to a Salesforce CRM, and we can bring all of that data. The point is that we don't have the Salesforce CRM ETL connection at this point. We should be able to launch it either in Q3 or Q4. So that's part of the plan. So either if you want to wait for that, we can make that connection, or again, you can do it sending all of that data to an Amazon S3, and we can connect to that. Now, it is important to know that if it's only data, for example, just let's say email and name of the person, you're not gonna get all of the analysis that I just showed. For example, revenue by client, by frequency of purchase, among others. So it's gonna be very limited. So just so that you have it in mind.
Okay, we have a second question from Glenn. He asks, great news on Stripe and WooCommerce. Any chance of integrating in with Webflow, an awesome platform now with its e-commerce features launched?
All right, thanks, Glenn. No, we don't have that feature in our priority list. we will include it now, and we'll keep an eye on if there are other users that want that integration, so that we can prioritize it. That way that we work actually is we try to listen to what customers want, and once we get integrations that they really want and we get asked for a lot, then we try to prioritize those integrations. So we'll definitely add this one to the list, and we'll let you know if we will add it or not anytime soon.
Okay, I don't know if this was already answered with your first answer, but Joe has this question. Is there an ability to use Zapier to import data in the case there is not a direct integration with our shopping cart software?
So yeah, it's a Zapier integration, but again, what you could do is you can send via Zapier your data to, for example, an Amazon S3, and that way you can send all of that data to our system automatically.
Okay, we have Roderick here, and he asks, so far the use is based on having a web shop. Can you tell me more about use cases with just a standard website without shopping?
Oh, okay. So if you have a website that is not an e-commerce, what you can do is once we launch the behavioral data or the web analysis, you're going to have centralized in our system how your customers behave on your website. And that way, for example, if you also have a login or whatever, you're going to have those customers identified. That way, you can start planning and making strategies on what type of communication or message you can send to each one of those users. So, for example, you can create a cluster of people that just, I don't know, like, or that you see that spend the most time on a specific product or a specific section of your page. That way, you can increase visits, or that way you can, I don't know, send a specific news to those people. So that's the way I see it. So in that case, you'll be able to use our web analytics, our campaign creation, being name it email, Facebook, or Google, for example. And if you use that, if you launch your campaigns there, you're going to be also able to see your ad insights and your social listening of all your social media.
Okay, we now have Fabiano. He asks, collaboration, how come if we have just one seat?
Yeah, I'm getting that question a lot. So as launched our collaboration tool, we're going to be launching that in a few months. Once we do that, your plan, the one you bought or you're planning to buy it in AppSumo, you will get additional seats to be able to. We're not sure yet how many seats we're going to give the star plan, which is the one that we're giving AppSumo, but you're going to definitely have more seats so that you're going to be able to use that collaboration feature with your team members.
Here we have in your, Andrew asks, in your email tool, does it work with email apps like MailChimp, or is it independent of email marketing apps?
It's independent. We're not connected to MailChimp or any of those guys. We are planning, if you don't want to use our email tool, that we can send all of our recommendations to other tools. For example, one of the integrations that we're finishing up, it's called Braze. With Braze, you can send email and SMS, and we are finishing that integration to be able to send our data to Braze. And in Braze, there's something that is called segments. And once you go into those segments, you're going to be able to see our recommendations per each user. So for example, you can see stuff like, or you're going to be able to see stuff like if that specific customer is in your champions or it's hibernating, what are the products that you should recommend to that specific users, among others. So hope that helps.
If we have Chatty, he asks, can you give me some more information on the integrations? Would two MySQL databases be one or two integrations, for example?
Sorry, can you repeat that question again?
Yeah, he's asking about the integrations, and he wants to know if two MySQL databases would be counted as one or two integrations.
So if you have, well, it depends. If you're bringing from your SQL a specific database, then that counts as one. If you want to bring several databases from a SQL database, then that will count as two different integrations. So it depends.
Here we have Johnny. He says he joined late, so he asks, can we split the integrations between different clients if we are an agency, or is this intended for just a single business?
No, it's intended for multiple businesses. You can actually, once you connect your Facebook or Google, for example, integrations, if all of those businesses are under your MCC or your BM, they'll be counted as just one integration. In terms of Shopify, for example, if you have different stores, we will count them as different integrations. Same thing with SQL, for example, as I just mentioned. One database will be one integration. A different database is another integration.
Okay, Joe has a question. What does predictive analysis per month mean, so that I know how many codes I may need? I think he refers to what he sees on the actual AppSumo promo page. So he wants to know how many predictive analysis per month and what does that mean?
Yeah, so predictive analysis is what I'm showing in my screen. We have three different analyses, which is RFM, similar taste, and best next recommended product. Every time you hit run, which I don't have it here because this is a demo, but you'll see it in your screen. If you hit run my predictive analysis, you're going to start seeing this type of analysis. This is what we mean that is limited for star users and for actually every user that we have.
James here has a question. Does this work with Facebook groups?
Facebook groups, no. Maybe you mean no, but no, the answer is no.
Okay. Joe also wants you to elaborate on all three elements in the pricing package. What is considered one predictive analysis, what an ad insight, and social listening?
Okay, so one predictive analysis is if I hit the button run, it will run this analysis once. So that means that if you want to update this analysis, you'll have to run it again. So that would be your second analysis. And that's what we are limiting. The reason we're limiting that is because to run predictive analysis, we need a lot of server power because all of this is machine learning. So if we don't limit that and you wanted this updated all the time, it will cost us a lot. So that's why we limit it. In terms of social media, same thing. For example, in here, every time you run this analysis, specifically the sentiment analysis, it takes a lot of server power. So that's why we limit it.
Charles here wants to know, do we have a public roadmap?
No, and the reason we don't want to do it is because we have some patent pending and a lot of stuff. But basically, the most important things that are coming is we're going to be releasing integrations almost every week. Again, this week is going to be WooCommerce and Stripe. Then we're going to be releasing some things like BigQuery, Braze, among others. So that's on the integration part. Then we have Analytics.js. So that's going to be a huge, huge deal. Then we're going to be releasing collaboration. And then we're going to be releasing something that it's a little bit more advanced and maybe a little bit geeky, but you're going to be able to create your own analysis within our tool. So, for example, if you see something specific that you don't have or that we don't provide, but you want to do it, for example, you want to cross a specific column with another specific column, and we don't do it for you to make a specific analysis. You can create that with some code, let's say Python, and then you can run that as a package in our system.
We have 3 more questions here. We have Fabiano asking, in SQL, does it count as one integration per database or per table?
That's a good question. I don't have the answer for that. Maybe
I have the answer. It would be per database. You can upload as many tables as you like. The integration itself would be per database.
Awesome. Thanks, Jalil.
No problem. We have a follow-up question from David. Oh, we have more questions. Sorry. David is asking, would we be able to analyze data based on sales team outreach? Like, how long did they take to respond to client's email? How long did we take to send a quote when the client that requested that? And how many times did our sales team reach out to a specific client? Which outreach?
Yeah.
Sorry, it keeps going. Which outreach strategy has been the best so far? Or is Datagran mainly focused on e-commerce?
No, we're not mainly focused on e-commerce. Some of the features that you have, we have them available for corporate clients, where we start kind of keeping track of specific channels, on response rates, amount they spent on each response. And depending on your business, one thing or the other works best or not. We've seen that in some businesses and some objectives, emails work best, but then on others, Facebook or Google or vice versa. So sorry, I can't give you an exact response on that.
Okay, Andrew here wants to know, does this replace other Facebook ad management tools like AdEspresso?
Yes, the answer is yes. But again, keep in mind that our optimization tool is only about 10% of all of what we do. I just showed that we do integration, analytics, predictions, among others. AdEspresso is just an optimization tool, and they use A/B testing. We use machine learning. So we replace tools like Kensho, AdEspresso, Optimizely, among many others. The cool thing here is that no more you're going to need a tool for optimizing, a tool for prediction, a tool for integrations, among others. So you're going to be centralizing everything in one single tool.
Okay, we have a couple more questions. Fabiano asks, can I have predictive analysis for different profiles or brands?
Yes. So if you have different databases or different integrations, you're going to have different analysis for each one of those businesses. Even if you have a specific integration, you can, for example, as Alejandro said, you can have like one database but that has different tables. You can create different clients for that, so, or different businesses for that. So yes.
Okay, Roderick here wants to know, when creating a Facebook or Google ad, will we have the same options in Bright as in Facebook's or Google's own environment?
That's a great question. Yes, for most of them. We're not saying that we have maybe an update that Facebook or Google launched yesterday, but maybe we do because we are Google and Facebook partners and we get access to the betas or the betas, and we constantly update our platform. So you should have most of the things that you're using right now.
David here has a question. He mentions, I love that geeky feature. When can we expect it? And will it be included in the AppSumo plan?
You should be able to get it in the AppSumo plan, but I don't have a date for that yet. We're working hard to be able to have that deployed this year. But again, I can't. That's a big project that we're working on, and I can't compromise with a specific date. Hope you understand.
Okay, we have 3 more questions. We have William saying, are we able to see specific targeting information adjustments made by Datagran? For example, only show ads to user demographic age 25 to 34 and 35 to 44, or only show ads in specific geographical location, for example, New York only.
Yeah, definitely. You can make all the specific segments or audiences that you want. Not only when you create the campaign, you can choose that from Facebook or Google, but also you can do that based on your transactional data or web data once we launch that. So for example, you could create a filter of users that only buy your product in New York, and you can create a custom audience based on that, so that Facebook can only show the ads to those specific people. But again, if you go to Facebook, you can also say, hey, I just want my audience for people in New York, and Facebook will only display the ads to that specific audience.
This question is pretty much the same that you just answered. Can we select where our ads are placed? For example, Google Ads exclude on a specific page?
Yeah, I mean, yes.
Basically, yeah. Yeah. And then finally we have, can we look at the data without the predictive element? If we run over the per month limit, can we purchase a top up on that limit?
Okay, so you're gonna be able to stack in AppSumo. So yes, what you need to do is kind of project or think about how many analysis you'll have to do, and that way you can stack your codes. Then after that, if you're using the platform and you didn't stack, let's say, but you need more analysis, what you will need to do is get in touch with us, and we can give you a pricing for what you need specifically. I'm not sure if I answered all the question.
And then finally, Quentin has this question. He has this funnel, which goes from Facebook ad to a landing page, to an option form, to a thank you page. So he wants to measure the drop off from the ad to the final page. This will show me how effective the ad is. I have a pixel set up in Facebook, but will this data show in the analytics sections of Bright?
Once we launch web analytics, that again should be in about 1.5 months or 2 months, yes. At this point, no, you're not going to see it.
Okay, awesome. We are just at our time. So Carlos, thank you so much for taking the time to answer these questions. Alejandro, appreciate your help as well going through all of these. If you guys have any further questions before we head off, feel free to ask those on the AppSumo page for the product, so you can go in there. I'm sure the Datagran team will be in there helping answer these questions, helping take care of you guys. But yeah, Carlos, do you have any final words before we sign off?
Just one more thing. Sorry to interrupt,
Yeah.
Chris. If you have any further questions, you can always contact us at support@datagran.io. I'm going to say it again, just support@datagran.io. You can come up with any questions that you may have. Same at the AppSumo page, but just so you know, you also have this resource. And we also have a live chat support from 8:30 to 6 p.m. Central Daylight Time. So any questions you may have, you can join us, and we'll be more than happy to assist you and resolve all of the doubts you may have.
Awesome. Thank you for that.
Just on my side, thank you for supporting Datagran. Thank you for buying our product, and let us know if there are anything that we can add to the product that will make it better.
Awesome. Thank you so much for taking the time with us and sharing all of that. Look forward to seeing you on the deal page, and I'm sure Sumolings are super excited for Datagran getting their hands all over it. So thanks again for joining us, and I'm sure we'll be talking soon.
Awesome, everybody. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Bye-bye. Thanks, everyone.